let's kick this off. My goal for this webinar is really to show you as a potential buyer on acquire.com, really how to locate, find, and potentially acquire a startup that meets your specific criteria. As I go through this, if you have any questions, feel free to share them in a chat, and then we'll do a Q&A at the end. But without further ado, acquire.com, we're the world's #1 startup acquisition marketplace. And really in this webinar, I'm going to be sharing some tips, some advice on really how to maximize our marketplace to acquire the best startups. And just as a quick agenda, I'm going to be going an introduction of myself, what we do as a company, and then really dive into why build versus buy. Why would you acquire a business versus just starting from scratch? And what are the benefits to that? And then also things like, how do we help you acquire startups? How do we make the process more efficient? What tools have we built to help you specifically as a buyer? And then also going over our dedicated support and our platinum services available to those looking to acquire businesses potentially in the 5, 6, 7-figure range. And then also going over some successful acquisition stories at the end with some different types of buyers, ranging from ones that have a private holding company, private equity, or just maybe an entrepreneur like yourself. So without further ado, I'm Andrew Gazdecki. I am this person in the picture. I am the founder and CEO of 2 different companies, Business Apps and Altcoin, both acquired. Main point on this slide is I've been an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. I've built startups. I've sold startups. I know how hard it can be to start a business from basically square zero. And really that's one of the reasons I built acquire.com, was to help people connect in terms of buying and selling startups, because even just finding really great opportunities in terms of acquisitions can be a challenge for buyers. And then also for business owners and startup founders, just finding the buyer alone can be such a challenge. And so a lot of what we do at acquire.com is we provide the highest quality deal flow specific to the criteria of businesses that you're looking to acquire. And we're really looking to truly disrupt the M&A process and removing complexity and inefficiency to make it easier for you to close life-changing acquisitions. So in terms of our impact, we've been in business for 3 years. We turned 4 in January. And in that time period, we've closed over 1,000 acquisitions, over $500 million in closed transactions. We have 300,000 registered buyers. And today on the marketplace alone, we have over $1 billion in combined revenue across 2,000 listings on our marketplace. And then we are a global marketplace. So we've had acquisitions on every continent except Antarctica. We're still working on that one, but 75 plus countries served. So our impact truly is global. So whether you're in the United States or any other country in the world, we have businesses that are available to be acquired. And we've helped people, again, in multiple different countries get into entrepreneurship through acquisition. So now moving on to why should you consider buying a business versus just starting one from scratch. So I always love this quote from Warren Buffett: buy a business, don't rent stocks. He's done pretty well with this strategy. But more specifically, when you buy a business or you acquire a startup, from the very onset, you have more control. And what I mean by that is it's easier to influence the outcomes because the customer has already been defined. There's some traction within the business. Essentially, you're not starting at zero. So you're not chewing glass to get your first customers, and you're buying product market fit, allowing you to move faster. And then you can also acquire a superstar team already in the business, so you can really focus on scaling the startup based on your specific skill sets, whether that's sales, marketing, you name it. You can apply those skill sets to a business that you acquire and grow that further. Or you can capitalize on momentum and buy a really, really profitable business and then benefit from that from day one. Now, to illustrate this, we have thousands of startups ready to be acquired. And the key point of this is these are startups with product market fit. So they have crossed the hardest part of the journey of building a startup, which is just finding those first customers. I've been there. It's hard. I have many failed startups. And once you get those first customers, you really have something on your hands. And really, it's just a matter of how far can you take it from there. So rather than spending a year building the product, a year trying to find customers, you can leapfrog all of that by entering entrepreneurship through acquisition and buying a business. And so, how do we set you up for success? We have this marketplace full of really high quality listings. Now, how do we really help you connect with the owners of these businesses? So again, we have thousands of quality post-revenue online businesses for sale on the marketplace right now. We also add about 200 to 300 new listings per month. And then on top of that, we have recommended business matching based on your specific acquisition criteria, which you're able to enter in within the acquire.com marketplace. And then in terms of just trust and safety, so everyone's worst nightmare is acquiring something and it's a scam, something doesn't add up. And so we've built a safe and secure environment to manage your acquisition end to end. And what this means is from the legal documents being created, the letter of intent, the asset purchase agreement, and then finally closing through our integration with escrow. So you can be confident in your acquisitions that they're going to go through safely and that you're able to conduct proper due diligence and make sure that you're acquiring a business that's highly valuable. And then something new as well that many people may not know about is we do provide one-on-one support from our experts to help you engage, negotiate, and acquire a targeted business. So this is new for our platinum buyers, which I'll explain more in a minute and why that's important. But I want to dive more into, again, how we help you as a buyer when it comes to acquiring a business. And there's a lot of other marketplaces out there. There's brokers out there as well. And there's other ways of getting a hold of different businesses, such as cold email. You can DM businesses. But we have a marketplace full of quality listings ready to go. So we have a strict curation process where we vet every single listing that comes onto our marketplace. And we ID verify the listings. We have market guided valuations that inform realistic asking prices. And then also helpful tools, such as our recommendation engine, search filters, so you can go through the marketplace quickly and really focus on the businesses that are in line with what you're looking to acquire, whether that's a really large business or maybe you're just getting started and you want to find let's call it a SaaS company doing 20,000 in revenue or 10K in profit. You can use our filters to really focus in on just those businesses. And then also the legal documents, kind of the boring stuff, but also the really important stuff. So two-way NDAs to protect both parties as you really dive in deeper on the businesses. And then again, everything you need to close, such as communication, letter of intent, asset purchase agreement builder, then also free integrated escrow. Now, I'm going to be harping on this a lot, but again, expert support as well. So we're available by email, chat, or phone support 24/7. And then also in terms of resources, we have an expert course that really goes over the buying and selling of online businesses. And then something brand new that we've been working on is our buyer success team support for our platinum members to really make sure that you're getting the most out of your acquire.com subscription. And to reiterate that, we're invested in your success. And so you can get a free advanced buyer course, which we acquired. I've personally taken this course. It was created by an individual named Ryan Kulp, who's bought and sold a number of different businesses on acquire.com. And we made it free for everybody. So if you're a platinum buyer, you can get a hold of this course and really dive deeper into negotiations, how to structure a deal in terms of financing every single part from end to end, teaching you really what private equity or buying SaaS companies really is like from end to end. But I really want to touch on, again, just the quality of our listing. So how do we ensure that we have the highest quality listing? So every listing that comes in, we make sure that email is verified, their identity is verified. We do some pretty strict due diligence on just the website URL. We validate revenue and profit, and we make sure that listings are up to date in terms of information. And then also you're able to access items inside of what we would call a data room such as a P&L, sometimes a due diligence package, transition package, and also we have seller financing available as well. And if you look on the right-hand side here, you'll see that we only accept about 46% of the startups that are submitted to our marketplace. And so what this does is this ensures that one of our core values at acquire.com is really having the highest quality acquisition opportunities at all times. And so we tend to say no, unfortunately, to startups more than we do yes, based on a number of different criterias. Now, going over the new tools and hands-on support that we have available for you as a buyer and how you can benefit from them. So this is what I would call your acquisition toolbox. We have custom lists. So this enables you to track your favorite listings on the marketplace. So typically, if you're looking to acquire a business, you're going to be looking at a lot of different businesses, and some people will track them in an Excel sheet, a Google spreadsheet, whatever it may be. We have that built into acquire.com, saving you time. And then also just engaging with owners of businesses and sharing different files or making data requests back and forth. And then when you find a business that you think is a good opportunity, you're able to quickly build a letter of intent and send it to them in minutes. And then if that letter of intent is accepted, you can build an asset purchase agreement, which is essentially the purchase agreement that allows you to really customize the deal structure that is going to make you and the owner of the business happy as you move forward into escrow and then close safely and securely. So I know it's really fun to talk about these things, but I'm going to take a moment and dive through the marketplace to really show you how we leverage all of these items to help you acquire the best startups. So if you're not familiar with acquire.com at all, what I'd recommend doing is clicking join now up here in the top right corner. And then that'll lead you into an environment where you can onboard yourself as a buyer. Now, I'm just going to fast track that part. And I've already registered as a buyer. I've subscribed to the Platinum plan, which gives me access to startups of all sizes, as well as my support team. And so when you first log in, you're going to see that you're able to edit your criteria based on the specific types of businesses you're looking to acquire, whether that's agencies, mobile apps, e-commerce companies, SaaS businesses. You can customize your asking price, also the TTM gross revenue. TTM stands for trailing 12 months revenue. So that'd be the total revenue they've made over the last 12 months. And then also the TTM net profit, but then also getting more specific, such as your interests or the industries or business models, really letting you get very, very granular in terms of your search. So just for the sake of an example, I'm going to increase this to maybe, 25,000 net profit. Maybe we'll increase to 20,000. And then when I hit save, what I'm able to do is get instant access to startups that meet that criteria. So 3 parts. So based on your criteria, if I click this out, now I can start seeing all businesses that meet my criteria. And then another place to check out as well is popular listings. So these are the most popular listings on our marketplace based on how many people are interacting with the listing, how many people are submitting offers. And my personal favorite is our top picks. So these are hand curated listings that our team is personally working with. And so kind of diving into the listings a little bit. So assuming that you're interested in this listing, you're able to see high level information about the business. How profitable is it? What does the growth look like? How much revenue is it generating? How much profit is it generating? Who are the competitors? Is pre-financing available? And we have all this different information. And we even have connected metrics where you can see the actual growth rate of the business to really be confident that the financials they're stating are correct. Now, if I wanted to request access to this company, I would simply sign an NDA. And you can do this as an individual or as a company. And then once I sign the NDA, then I would get access to the data room based on whether the business owner approves my listing or not. Now, if you want to look at all the listings, you can click all listings and search by a number of different categories, but really apply what you're specifically looking for. So these are all the different listings that we have available. And you can even see that some listings are under offer, so you can get an idea of kind of where businesses are trading today. And then also how many people are in the conversation. So how much activity is on these listings. So that's kind of a high level overview. And then also in terms of the course that I was just describing a second ago. So this is the course that we offer all of our platinum buyers that really helps you understand how do you get started? Again, why build versus buy? How do you choose a niche? How do you set up your investment thesis? And then also sourcing. How do you automate your deal flow with acquire.com? And then negotiations and due diligence. How do you, once you find a company that looks interesting, what should you do from there? And then also financing and closing. Now, a lot of the times we see people that will buy startups on acquire.com, they'll grow them and then also resell them. So also, how do you do that? How do you grow the business? What are some ideas? And then how do you exit that business successfully? We even have resources such as the acquisition playbook, 10 proven post-acquisition strategies to increase revenue by 10% or more. And a lot of these ideas are pretty simple: raise pricing, increase conversion rate optimization, and a number of different things. And so if you go to just blog at acquire.com, we have a ton of different resources to really help you understand just all the nuances behind acquisitions on acquire.com. So getting back to the presentation, and then these are all customer testimonials as well. So you can see just the amount of activity that we drive on our marketplace. So whatever you need any time of day, we are here to support you. So we have chat support 24 hours, 7 days a week, email support 24 hours, 7 days a week. We have a help desk full of templates that allow you to understand how do you use our letter of intent builder? How do you create an asset purchase agreement? What are the best sort of deal structures that you should be looking at? What are the most common? And also the resource center where you can get answers from our blog quickly and easily. So we invest a lot in your success in terms of wherever you are in terms of your education on acquisition. So whether you're first starting out or if you're an experienced private equity firm, we have resources available to you. Now, going over the end-to-end acquisition support. So again, from a high level, you'll want to create a short list. So going back to my account, if I go to my deals, I can see the short list of companies that I'm potentially interested in. And then from there, I can request access, or I can create different lists and add them to the list that I just showed you. And this really helps with organization in terms of these are all the companies I'm looking at. These are all the companies I want to do a little bit more due diligence on. So that's just one piece right there. And then allowing you to quickly sign an NDA to access the private data room. And within the private data room, you'll see the name of the business owner. You'll be able to access the business's website and start the due diligence process, and also begin communicating with the owner of the business to set up a call and get to know them and really see if this is an opportunity worth pursuing. And once you get past that, you're probably going to want to make an offer. And so creating a letter of intent couldn't be easier on acquire.com. And we allow you to include terms such as seller financing or conditional holdback. You can also input custom terms as well, and really have an offer that aligns with both your goals as well as the business owner's goal as well, to make sure that when you acquire the business, it's an offer that really aligns with both of your expectations. For example, you can add in a 3 to 6 month transition period. So when you buy the business, if there's additional information that's missed during due diligence, you still have the business owner available to help. And then also the asset purchase agreement builder, which helps you customize and finalize your deal. And then built-in escrow so you can close safely and securely, which I highly recommend. Don't ever do an acquisition without using escrow. It protects you from scams. It protects you from bad actors. And it really helps ensure that you can rest assured that what you are acquiring is what's being shared with you by the owner of the business. And with our new buyer success program, we'll help you customize your buyer profile so you really stand out within the marketplace. Because again, with 300,000 buyers, you want to do as much as you can to really stand out and give buyers confidence, or excuse me, give sellers confidence, because as much as you're doing due diligence on a business that you're interested in, sellers are doing the same thing to you as well. They're looking at your profile, they're looking at proof of funds. And so I'll touch on that a little bit more in a second, but this is the team that's available to help Platinum members. So this is a new buyer success program that we're just launching where you get expert help one-on-one to really learn how to acquire the biggest companies on our platform. So we'll teach you how to manage the complexity of a 7-8 figure deal. We'll help you understand how the platform works on a deeper level, but really cater to your needs. So we personalize and we customize and automate your deal flow so you get a competitive edge over your competition, which is other buyers, with a free buyer scorecard. And I'm going to go over that in a second. And then really just understanding your acquisition goals, whether you're looking to acquire something on the smaller end of the spectrum or you're looking at the 7-8 figure deals. We have something for pretty much everyone. So again, going back to the marketplace, if I'm looking to acquire a business for a large amount, let's say I'm just specifically focused on SaaS businesses that are doing at least 100,000 profit. So I can set that criteria, and then all of the businesses that meet that criteria will now show within your criteria settings. But you may be just starting out, and maybe your maximum asking price is, let's just say 25,000. And so this will lower the revenue limits. And so from here, if I do this, you can see that we have businesses kind of available for any type of buyer, whether you're looking for just a product to add on to your existing startup, you're just looking for a business to acquire and potentially grow and resell later, whatever it may be, we have the tools for you to quickly filter through the marketplace, and we'll help set all of that up for you to ensure that you're only looking at the listings that are relevant to your specific search. So now the buyer scorecard. So this is where my team can really, really help you stand out from the crowd when you're looking to acquire a business. And this is really, really critically important because when you're selling a business, putting yourself in the seller's shoes, they're going to be looking at your profile. So you want to make sure that you have a good profile pic, that you have a nice about you in terms of who are you, what is your acquisition experience, how many acquisitions are you looking to close annually. And then we also help review your criteria. We help you with organization upkeep and allowing you to leverage our platform to the best of its ability and really make sure that when you are looking at hundreds of businesses, you're not having to just endlessly scroll through the marketplace, and we can keep your search specifically focused on what is relevant to you. And then we also help you understand what is the best way to outreach to a business owner, how to make the best first impression, and then also how to showcase your ability to close. So in this example, this would be a perfect buyer profile, in my opinion. So LinkedIn is connected, platinum buyer badge, verified funds up to 1.5 million, a really thought out bio about yourself to really give the seller some confidence that you are a real person, that you have expertise in the business that maybe you're looking to acquire, and that you are a serious buyer. And so my team is more than happy to help set all of this up and really make sure that when you do reach out to founders on acquire.com, they're going to respond to you and be excited to speak with you. So now I'm going over the types of buyers on acquire.com and who's seen success working with us. So first example would be Syed Balkhi. He's the founder and CEO of a private holding company called Awesome Motive. So we helped him acquire a company called Push Engage, which was a great addition to his portfolio of WordPress companies. So he focuses specifically on WordPress applications. He's also the founder of WP Beginner, and he's done a number of transactions on acquire.com. And then also Ryan Kulp. He probably holds the record for the most acquisitions. I definitely know the fastest acquisition. He closed an acquisition within 48 hours. And again, it was on the smaller end, but he's also closed some of the bigger acquisitions as well. And he's the one which we acquired the course from. So he's an entrepreneur. He's done a ton of acquisitions, and he's potentially just like you, where he realizes that his skill set is in sales and marketing and really growing businesses. And so he will acquire businesses, grow them, and then later resell them or hold them for profitability. And then also Joe Speiser as well. He's done a fantastic job in terms of acquiring businesses, scaling them up, and then also reselling them to really have a process that can be very lucrative if your skill set is like mine, where as a founder, I'm a sales and marketing entrepreneur rather than a technical entrepreneur, and allowing me to skip through the part of finding those first customers where the customer ICP is clear. Maybe there's just a couple distribution channels set up, and it allows me to really do more of what's working or stand up some other distribution channels that I'm personally versed in. And then also another example is Dirk from SaaS Group. So SaaS Group, they focus on generally 7-8 figure acquisitions, and they are a private equity firm based in Europe. And they acquired a company called MyWorks off of acquire.com, and they are absolutely fantastic to work with as well. And then also Eyal, he is the founder and operator of MicroAngel. And so he has also a private holding company. And I really like this blog post of his where he actually outlines a framework where he's essentially taking 500,000 and acquiring micro SaaS companies. And his goal is to turn that into 1.4 million over the next 2 years. And I believe he's passed that goal by quite a bit. So in terms of August 2023 performance, we've done 82 successful acquisitions, 25 million in closed deal volume. And as of right now, we have over 200 startups under offer. So every single month, we see about 100 acquisitions close on our platform. So tons of new listings being taken live every single day, every single week. And we want to help you connect with them as a buyer to really help reach your goals. So with that being said, if you join as a platinum subscriber, what we'll do is we'll connect with you and we'll help set up all the items that I just outlined in terms of your buyer scorecard, really helping you get the most out of acquire.com, stand out from other buyers, and successfully acquire a startup that specifically meets your criteria. And so with that said, thank you for attending this webinar. I hope this was a good overview of really how to get started. And just to kind of go over how to get started is register. Click join now. And in terms of the Platinum program and what it offers, you can go to our pricing page and see everything that comes with this. But long story short is, with the subscription as a Platinum buyer, will help set up your profile, will help automate your deal flow, and then you'll get relevant deals targeted to you year round. And so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to some Q&A because I'd love to hear what everyone is thinking. So if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to go over some questions that have already been flagged for me. Thank you, Roger. Okay, does acquire.com do any diligence on listings prior to them being listing? Yes, we do. So we go through everything from, we'll look at the financials, make sure they make sense. We'll ID verify the owner of the business. We make sure that the business actually existed at certain, we put it through a number of different things. We'll do even just simple things such as we'll type in the business's name, look up what's their social presence to really ensure that it's a real business and it's not a drop shipping scam or something like that. So we pride ourselves on having the highest quality listings of any marketplace within the industry. So the second question I'm getting is, what types of buyers do you typically see on acquire.com? So what's really cool about acquire.com is we've somewhat democratized entrepreneurship through acquisition. And what I mean by that is, yes, we do work with some of the largest private equity firms. We do work with public companies that have corporate dev teams, but we also work with individual buyers and entrepreneurs that are looking to diversify their investment into potentially a passive, profitable business that you can acquire and essentially hold for the long term. Or on the other end, you can buy a business that maybe is missing a few items and you see some excellent growth strategies where you can take it farther than the original owner of the business was able to take the business. And then two more questions. How do I show I'm a serious buyer, and how can I differentiate myself from other buyers? And what's the difference between free, premium, and platinum buyers? So I'm going to bucket this into one question. So how do you show you're a serious buyer? Subscribe to the platinum plan on acquire.com. And the reason for that is we'll help set up your buyer profile so you really stand out from other buyers by verifying proof of funds, connecting your LinkedIn profile, writing a thoughtful bio about yourself, because sellers really do look at these items. And then we'll also help automate your deal flow by setting up all of your criteria so you're getting the most out of acquire.com. Then some other good questions. Keep them coming. What deal types are available through acquire.com? So we help SaaS companies, e-commerce companies, mobile app companies, agencies. Our main focus is really think of just profitable online SaaS, profitable online SaaS is our strongest category, but our marketplace is built for any type of profitable online business. Here's a good question. So if a seller hasn't responded to my inquiry, how persistent should I be in chasing the seller? So what you can do is reach out to our support team at any time. And then one other thing I'd like to show as well in terms of how we keep the marketplace quality high is you can actually report a listing. So if you come across a listing and you think this seller has no intent to sell, it's a scam, and this is how we keep the marketplace secure and safe and high quality, is a lot of our buyers help us in case they come across something. So if you do see something that seems a little off, report it to us and we'll look into it within hours. And then another good question, does acquire.com help buyers with financing options? We do, but only on specific startups. So they have to meet a certain criteria and it's generally on the larger side. But one thing we can help you with is understanding certain types of financing options that you can work with on the seller. And what I mean by that is seller financing. So if you're looking to acquire a business for $500,000, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay $500,000 for that business upfront. What you can do is structure a deal where maybe 80% is cash on closing. So that would be $400,000 cash on closing, and then $100,000 is financed by yourself through monthly or quarterly payments over the course of 12 or 24 months. So we definitely do help with that, and we can educate you on deal structures. Or if you just go to our blog and just type in deal structures, you can see a number of them. All right. So some people are asking, can you share a link to the advanced buyer course you mentioned earlier for platinum subscribers? We definitely can. So for everyone who attended this webinar, what we're going to be doing is reaching out to you to see if this makes sense. And if it does, we'd love to see you upgrade. And then we'll be providing all the items that I went over in this webinar, which includes really optimizing your profile. It's so important. It's so important. You don't want to be the person on acquire.com with no picture, weird bio, you haven't verified funds, and you haven't set up your search criteria, we want to really optimize your profile. So when you do find a startup that you're really interested in, you're right at the top. And then from there, we'll provide the course, but then also talk to you one-on-one in terms of any specific questions that you have about how the marketplace works, things that you're interested in, and really help set you up for success. So we definitely will do that. All right. Well, I think that's kind of the main questions for now. I'll go ahead and answer one. Here's a good one. What are the top considerations if I'm interested in buying a business on Acquire that's based internationally and I'm based in the US? So that's a really good question. So in terms of the region that you are based in, so let's say you're looking to acquire business in another country, there's going to be a lot of different scenarios, but my best recommendation is let us know your situation and we can refer you over to potential legal help to ensure that if you do buy a company internationally, that you're safely protected. But the top considerations would definitely be, do you trust the seller? Does all of the financials check out? And then when you do buy internationally, absolutely use an escrow service. So you're not sending money overseas and you're not able to have any legal recourse if needed. So this is why we built our letter of intent builder. This is why we built our asset purchase agreement builder. This is why we built an escrow integration so you can safely and securely close. So definitely utilize those toolings to really help ensure that you're acquiring something and you're not going to get, you're not going to have a bad time is maybe a better way to put it. Another great question, is it necessary to have technical skills to acquire SaaS businesses in the marketplace? So here's a good tip for if you're not technical. So if you're not technical and you're looking at all these businesses, I'm not technical at all either. And it is really hard for me to run this business and not want to acquire a startup. I'll show you one business that actually gets me kind of excited. So this one right here is in my list. So here's what I would do. So if I wasn't running acquire.com, I would be on here acquiring businesses on acquire.com. I really like this one here, AI-powered personalized cold emails at scale for increasing response rates. So what I would do is I would work with a third-party agency and I would have them do a code review with the owner of the business as a stopgap. And then if I actually do buy the business, you can also work with the owner of the business to be on standby for bug fixes or additional features. These are all really great negotiation points where you can have a consulting agreement available with the owner of the business if they're a technical founder. So there's definitely ways for you to vet startups in terms of the technical aspect, even if you're not technical, but definitely make sure that that's a key part of your due diligence is the technical aspect as well. All right. And then I guess just kind of the last final point is, if all of this sounds appealing to you, you want to sign up as a platinum buyer, you want to enter entrepreneurship through acquisition, you want to really see if you can buy a business, grow it, or maybe you're on the other end and you want to buy a really large business, go sign up for the platinum subscription, or you can email platinum@acquire.com. My team will reach out to you with any questions. And then from there, let us talk to you. Schedule a call with my team so we can go over your specific acquisition criteria so we can really help narrow down that search and then go over a strategy in terms of how are you going to finance it? How are you going to structure the deal based on your specific criteria and your ability to close? And so we're happy to go through all that as well as providing the course. So sign up for Platinum, email platinum@acquire.com if you have any additional questions, and stay tuned for more webinars like this. We're going to be going over more topics in the near future, but thank you so much for attending. I really enjoyed this. And let me just get some feedback. How did everybody like this webinar? Excellent. It was nice. Thank you. Great presentation. All right, more examples. We'll have more examples next time. Informative. Well done. All right. I appreciate every single one of you. I really do. Thank you so much for just your time and The comments coming in really motivate me. But again, check out acquire.com. There might be something in there that is appealing to you. And if there is, we'd love to see how we can help facilitate that acquisition. So I hope this was helpful. And I hope you all have a great week. And again, we're here to assist you in your acquisition needs. And we look forward to working with you. All right. See you, everybody. Appreciate you all.